I'm sorry. I don't want to be one. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. This world has room for everyone. The good earth is rich. It can provide for everyone. A way of life, free and beautiful. We have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls. It's barricaded the world with hate. It's goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, and we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much, feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent, and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world. Millions of despairing men, women, and little children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed. The bitterness of men fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die. And the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes. Men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, or what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men, machine men, with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world, that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight.
What's up, folks? John Hodgman here with an important radiation update for Louisiana. The Bayou sinkhole there has sunk more so, and it's collapsing, and now there's signs of radium being exuded in the area. They're worried about it possibly being in the water supply, and could be, radiating into the air and getting into the rain, and going with the wind into other regions. The wind's been whipping there lately, apparently. But the media's not covering any of this, of course, and we've got to put it all together. They had the explosions there recently. They're not mentioning the fact that this could all explode with the natural gas and the butane. Lightning strikes. There's always storms right in that area. Odd storms, and I'm seeing signs of ULF wave activity. I've got lots of videos on that I'll show you. But we've got to get the word out to people in that region. This is a ticking time bomb, and now it's I thought just exploding would be bad enough, but the potential of radiation, you know, leakage is just extreme. But anyways, I found this article I'd like to share with you. I'm going to read it for you. A veteran radiation expert says Louisiana's environmental officials are in denial over the hazard posed by elevated radium levels in slurry liquids of the historic massive 24-acre sinkhole. Stanley Walagora, a New Mexico-based radiation protection consultant and leading authority on health risks of natural occurring radioactive material, the company's called NORM, confirmed early reports that radium levels at the Louisiana sinkhole, approximately 70 miles west of New Orleans and 50 miles west of Baton Rouge, are not within limits, but roughly 15 times higher than the state's acceptable level. Walagora said officials with Louisiana Department of Environmental Quality need to launch immediate additional tests to ensure the hazardous radium is not leaking into nearby groundwater and posing threat to human health as well as livestock. A consultant recommendations come 2 days after this blog first reported the analysis of DEQ tests results from Bayou corn revealed not only elevated radium levels but also airborne chemicals associated with highly volatile butane stored in a cavern near the sinkhole over the crippled 1 mile by 3 mile Napoleonville salt dome. The sinkhole, now over 24 acres large, over a football field across, and filled with liquid toxic slurry, is the resulting, according to state officials and their energy responders, is the failure of one salt dome cavern that has been operated by Texas Brine Company. They also said that some others were in danger in the area, possibly soon. Plus they're having a lot of seismic events in the region. So, Texas Brine Company's officials informed the Louisiana Department of Natural Resources in early 2011 of significant problems at the cavern. Local residents and authorities were not told of the risks, even after they began complaining in May 2012 of shaking homes and noxious odors. I sought an analysis of the recent DEQ test results from Walagora, who since a stint as a nuclear weapons officer in U.S. military training has been teaching, consulting and testifying as an expert witness in radiation litigation for more than 45 years, stated environmental attorney Stuart Smith this week. He expressed concern that the state reported its findings of radium-226 and radium-228 as below acceptable standards, when in fact the results were 15 times higher than the state's own standard for soil contamination. Walagora wrote, well, once again, Louisiana DEQ is in denial because they don't know what to do about the radiation contamination in the Bayou corn subsidence. He added these findings, according to Smith. There are immediate radiation dose concerns. The release could reach the usable aquifer and contaminate drinking water along with livestock and irrigated crops. The DEQ must sample groundwater to assess any transport. Airborne particulate may become entrained and cause contamination to be inhaled by the public. DEQ must collect air samples to assess the airborne radioactive particulate. This is why I'm showing you the wind map that I came up with to show you, the trajectory of these possible particulates. Radon gas emitting from the radium could be inhaled by members of the public. DEQ needs to monitor airborne radon. A long-range plan must be developed for remedial action. Funding should be provided by the oil companies that use the cavern for disposal. Imagine that. Walagora said in his report that he concerned about the DEQ's understanding of the risk in the Bayou corn because of what he witnessed in other cases handled by the troubled agency. It's like BP all over again. You know they're going to go bankrupt over this and just wash their hands of it. This is reminiscent of the illegal waste disposal that was discovered several years ago at St. Gabriel. The community complained about illegal dumping of radioactive waste. DEQ sent a team to investigate, who determined that there was no problem. Complaints continued, and a second DEQ team investigated and again said there was no problem. Finally, a legal action attracted to the EPA, who found widespread contamination. Yeah, no problem, huh? The responsible party had no worth, so the site was cleaned up with Superfund support. The cleanup took over 1 year and a cost of over $1 million. Quite a bit for no problem. Yeah. Indeed, said Smith, as regular leaders know, I joined early this year with the Louisiana Bucket Brigade in calling for the EPA to step in and assume responsibility for the DEQ, because we felt the agency was overwhelmed, and in the back pocket of the business it's supposed to be regulating. In Bayou Corn, we are witnessing our worst nightmares come true. It's time for the EPA and other outside authorities to step in and make sure the proper testing is done, that emergency measures are carried out. There's no excuse for allowing the new Louisiana catastrophe to get any worse. Oh, man. I'll show you guys the article. There's a couple other links. Bottom line, people, once again, we're not being told about these issues, and they are festering and getting worse. I didn't see it even going this way with the radiation aspect. I was more worried about the explosion aspect, but now imagine if there would be an explosion. The smoke would be insanely toxic. We're also having a radiation dilemma north of there. I can't remember exactly where, but they think it's possibly due to an underground fire of some sort. I'll look further into that. And Fukushima is now warning that the ground is starting to liquefy. They've had mad earthquakes over there, guys, and slowly the buildings are sinking. The uranium and the heat involved has melted the bottom out of Fukushima, and which is now pouring in the ocean. They call it boiling the ocean, but it's not actually boiling the ocean. It's just major steam and toxic chemicals being poured into the Pacific. So when they had a chance to do something about it, they didn't. You know, you guys got to understand. I no longer believe in all these accidents. You know, a lot of this stuff is popping up 3 years ago. It's like it's a time bomb. You know, like somebody is pushing a button. And as our government is getting discovered, there's major buttons being pushed globally right now. But I think we're overdue for a false flag. I truly believe one's coming. 9/11 is right around the corner, and the people involved in all this are truly evil, true evil. And 9/11 has some kind of sacrificial date line, you know, just like September 11th in 2011. So we need to be on guard. We really need to keep an eye on things, because things are going down. So be astute, be aware, be prepared, and please share. This is John Hodgman, Rebel Watchdog, signing off.
I don't want to be one. Never. That's not my view. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness.